Once you joined Swami school, tell us how did your journey continue as a student?
Yeah, with His grace, guidance, I could sail through the 11th and 12th standard and then complete. And then very important thing is that even though my parents are staying in Parthi and I had an option of staying with them and coming to the school as a day scholar, Swami made it a point that he calls my father and tells, let him join the hostel. Then I was put in a hostel. I can't imagine my studies, my academic career without hostel life. Every student, of course, every student who spent time in the hostel along with their studies felt that hostel life had given them scope to get closer and closer to Swami. That life itself, in fact, in my first 2 years, 11th and 12th, Swami had come almost in a year itself, almost my 11th standard 6 times to hostel, and 12th standard almost 5 times, I believe. So Swami used to frequent hostel, spend time with us. That valuable time he spent with us actually molded us into focus more into doing things which he wanted us to do. And as we kept progressing towards, as I was completing my 12th, its next phase is to get into my UG in Swami's college. Again, with all the hurdles that I went through and then apprehensions that I had in my mind about my ability to cope up further into studies, I had applied and I was sitting there for the interview subsequent to my written exam. I was waiting for my turn to get into interview of that particular UG entrance. So it was almost morning around 9:45 or 10 o'clock after bhajans, and a boy who was getting interviewed before me was already there inside the boardroom. All senior people are entering, Vice Chancellor, Controller and Registrar, along with the subject HOD. And I was just sitting with kind of big apprehension in mind, whether will I get into this next phase of my studies. If I don't get selected here, I don't know, it's so much of uncertainty hovering around me that I may have to go back and pursue my studies elsewhere. So I wanted to ensure that somehow I get in with His grace, and I was just fervently praying and hoping that my entry goes smooth. Even though I have done reasonably well in my UG entrance, hardly few minutes of that kind of apprehensive moment, the boy who was inside interview, the process of interview he was asked to go back, come and sit with me again. Then I asked what happened. Hardly 10 minutes since you went, what happened? For all others it has taken more than half an hour. No, it seems Swami is coming to Swami is coming to that block. And few minutes later I see Swami has already reached the ad block, came up to the place where we were sitting, got into that hall. It's a waiting hall, like a conference hall. When the last 2 candidates were waiting, me and that boy, Swami looked at us, smiled, and then walked through the entire ad block. Probably this is the first time when an interview is going on, when an academic selection process is going on. Probably this is the first time Swami had come to the place when some official work is going on. So then Swami walked through the place where these people are interviewing us. Suppose that interview room, went to his chair and sat for some time, and spent some time with those senior people of the admin, and then left. So you know what happened? That moment when he came and looked at us, I was there waiting for my interview and decision. This is the moment of my life, another next stage of my life. It was so much relieving that without him coming that moment, I would have kind of struggled even during an interview. I would have answered wrongly. Probably I would have not satisfied the people who are going to interview me. But when he came and went, I was so relieved from the stress which I was going through, and also probably even gave them, the people who are going to interview me also had a very relaxed attitude with which they were interviewing me. It was very smooth sailing from there onwards. and of course, needless to say, I got selected and then got into my UG. Unlike my 11th, 12th, UG was like this chosen subject of biosciences only, and I could do well in biosciences, and then kept going to complete each semesters without any problem. And then one of these days, Swami always, every opportunity that we get to be with him, be it in the portico, Mandir portico, or be it in the hostel when he spends 3 hours, 4 hours at a stretch with us. From when he comes to hostel, there are times he has come as early as 3:30 in the evening. We receive him with Veda chanting, and then skit program, and there will be a talk by some of the students, drama, then there will be a dining session with Swami. This much happens one after another. All through he is with us, and also it's all topped up with one discourse by Swami, which is so much unique to benefit the young mind of the hostel, which is there was one beautiful occasion when Swami gave a discourse on Tyagaraja, which was like that everyone who was listening to Swami singing those songs, it was an experience which it's not felt elsewhere. In Mandir, discourses were much different from the discourse that he gave in the hostel. And as he was giving discourse, he was a lot of songs of Tyagaraja was singing. And then I still remember vividly, our warden was sitting in the front row and shedding tears, like so much moved by the songs which Swami was singing. Hostel life is one side. Another thing is when Swami comes to even college he has frequented many times for various reasons. A new department is inaugurated or getting inaugurated, or needs his guidance to plan the whole thing. On one such occasion when Swami came to institute, it was a learning experience for all of us. Swami decided that one door within that IT center needs to be covered with a curtain, and then asked the driver to go to the ashram and get that curtain from his mandir. Driver was about to leave. Swami said one of our senior student to join him. You also go with him. Then without any hesitation, the boy got into the back seat of Swami's car, and Swami's car left. And then we were all wondering, such a nice chance that this boy is getting. It was unusual those days. With Swami only the senior people used to travel, and then this boy got a chance to go in Swami's car. And then we were all just excited about that particular chance that Swami gave him. And he left, and then we were quite engrossed in Swami's presence and spending some more time, and Swami making decision regarding the room. And then maybe almost 15 minutes later, the car returned. And then as he was getting down, Swami asked, Amy, andaru neeku dandalu pettara? What everyone worshipped you as you were coming in my car. Then that boy was also feeling kind of, he's just nodding, and then he's feeling a little bit out of place. And then that he didn't elaborate on that. He just said that, and then kept continuing with whatever he wanted to do with that curtain decision. Later on, we even went and spoke to that senior student. All through Swami, as if Swami was there in the car, everyone was coming close to the car and doing namaskar. And then, of course, as the car was passing by, they would have realized. But the point here is that Swami wanted to make it to all of us that anything associated with him gets the same that adoration and respect that Swami gets. Another interesting and something which is dear to all the students who are going through the academic session in the college and hostel is that all of us work together during the sports meet. Swami decided sports meet as a January 11th, and it's going on from so many years. And then the preparatory phase of sports meet that the boys undergo is during the month which is generally considered as very auspicious month for doing anything towards satisfying the divine. Among the month I am Margari. That's what Krishna has said in one of his, when he describes himself, the creations, among this I am this, I am this. When he goes through that description, he puts it so beautifully, and among the months, 12 months, I am Margari. So that is the importance of the month of Margari. And during that month, our students are so busy doing something every day, as early as early morning hour they wake up and start working towards something, which end of it all going to please Swami during the sports meet presentation and get that pat from Swami and that smile from Swami. All of them are working towards one common goal, and that happens every year. So this way, the entire effort put together as collective effort put together by the students towards achieving those sports laurels has ended up becoming an offering to Swami. Then the sports meet itself becomes a spiritual practice. In the entire period of sports meet, the students are striving towards pleasing Swami. That itself has become a spiritual practice. That's how I perceive it.
Brother Vaithi, after you completed your education in Swami's college, how did you join the hospital?
Yeah, he was always there, as he was guiding me through my academic phase of my life. The next step is to get into job, and of course it was Swami who again took the initiative. I was just waiting a few months from the time I completed my MSc Biosciences, and then with a letter in my hand, I was just waiting for his guidance. That's the time when it was middle of the bhajan, and Swami those days used to come out middle of the bhajan, take one complete round into the middle of the midst of the students, and then take even one round with the devotee side and come back. And that evening, he had just come out of the bhajan hall and stood near the first pillar adjacent to the entry room and kept looking at all of us and then waving his hand and enjoying the bhajan. And we are also going through that wonderful experience. And then Swami started looking keenly at few of us, and one by one he started signaling to each one of us, go inside, like that. Swami was pinpointing the individuals whom he wants to go into the interview room, and then he did that to me also. He just did like this. So when I turned back to look around, it was no one else was there to get up. Then I looked at Swami again. Swami signaled to me for the second time, and then I was very sure that he is calling me only. Then I got up and made my way into the interview room. When we went in, we were initially unaware of the reason for which we are called in, and then when Swami walked in and was seated on his throne, and then we were all around him, Swami explained to us that he has selected us to work in his hospital, and then he continued to give us very valuable advice regarding how to conduct ourselves, how to be useful towards patient care, and that really gave us a nice foundation before I entered the hospital as a working staff in the hospital. In fact, this actually reminds me of what has happened in the past during my school, during my college days, when it was a kind of a foreseen, or it's a forecast of what has happened now. Swami, one morning session, it was during those days, bhajans used to be at around 11 o'clock, and the darshan time at 7 a.m. till 11, there will be a lot of gap. Swami used to spend a lot of time with the students in the portico, standing there in the middle of the portico, and then used to be very beautiful interaction session wherein Swami used to spend very valuable time with the students. That time, one of those days, Swami called the senior student, Mr. Abhinav Upadhyaya, if I am not wrong, his name Abhinav. He was very good at playing tabla. He was expert. In fact, before he came to join UG, he was trained tablaist. Swami wanted him to teach students who are interested in learning tabla. That was the time when Swami was making everybody to show some all-round talent. So it was like those who are not till now haven't learned tabla can give their name and then Abhinav was instructed that he should get the list and come and show to Swami. So one of those following morning, Swami took it was like as he walked through the middle path between the students, I was somewhere behind him, this side. He walked across and stood right in front of that student who was instructed by Swami to teach tabla, took the list from him and started reading out the names one by one. As he read out the name, he was looking at that student and making some comments and finding out who are those boys who are given the names for their they shown interest in learning tabla. So then as the name came down, it's my turn. Swami called out my name, Vaithilingam, twice he called. I was behind him in fact. I was seated here, Swami was standing here, facing the other side of the. So then one of the students showed in my direction. So Swami turned to me, Vaidya aata hai kya? Vaithilingam, Vaidya aata hai kya? Swami said in Hindi, your name is Vaidya, do you know medicine? Something like that. To that similarity, he made a kind of, it was in a lighter sense, and everybody laughed and then forgotten. And later on, when I got a chance to get into the hospital, I kind of recollected that particular moment where Swami mentioned, do you know medicine? So I've had the opportunity to join his hospital where I'll be somewhere useful to work in his patient care of his own hospital. So the other occasion where I felt Swami had given me the hint was like when the very first interview where Mr. Habu was asking me a few questions as to why I have taken the combination of BPC as my elective subject. So that time also I had mentioned, I don't know what prompted me to say that time, I had mentioned this statement saying that I would like to do BPC and get into science stream and then go into qualifying into a doctor and work in Swami's hospital. I was saying that statement, I want to do seva in Swami's hospital as doctor. So it's all like, even though I have not become doctor that moment, I have got an opportunity to work in his hospital. That is the blessings which I got that day. I kind of felt very, very blessed that moment when Swami is chosen among those boys. I was also one of them.
You had mentioned that Swami has protected your family on many occasions. Could you share some of them now?
Swami, while you are busy with his work, he ensures that he is there always with you. Probably in 2009, if I am not wrong, 2009, my father had major health issue wherein it was happening around night 9:30. Suddenly he collapsed from his bed, and then he was found semi-conscious. It's not responding to our call, but he was breathing, and his limbs were very stiff. Especially the one on the left side of the limb was very stiff, not able to even fold. So we rushed in and then helped him to get onto the bed. Then he felt definitely he needs some medical advice, and then from there we should go further. We rushed him to the CCU of our hospital, and then overnight he was under treatment. Slow recovery was seen, but still not complete. A few moments on the limbs have started recovering, and then he was able to open his eyes and keep responding to few words of ours. And there was some improvement, which was initially diagnosed as transient ischemic attack, which was kind of neurological deficiency. And then next day morning, when Swami was informed, Swami sent Vibhuti, and then moment he had that Vibhuti sent by Swami, and then that very, very thought of Swami is with him, and Swami has been informed, Swami has sent Vibhuti for himself, has kept him kind of immediately back on normalcy. And within I think the day after the incident, he got normalized and back home. In addition, I could even add to the point that my mother was going through certain health issues and challenges. Mother also was personally taken Swami had given personal attention to her and then made sure that she gets out of that particular health issue.
As we conclude, Brother Vaithi, tell us, how do you connect with Swami?
Yeah, it's not difficult. While Swami was physically there, that physical presence itself is enough to keep you motivated, keep you inspired, and wherever you feel need to take guidance physically, you go and get that guidance. It was going on. Now, in his physical absence, Swami is given ample opportunity to do his work, and that too a work which is unique, that it offers 100% free treatment to all those who come to this temple of healing. So being a part of that and playing our own humble role in that is very simple, and one thing makes it easy for you is to connect to Swami, is to just ensure that we work with the feeling that when you come in contact one-to-one with the patient and be interacting and trying to help him out, and whatever way is taken through the process, patients are to be looked at as Swami has come in that form. That makes it very easy. So moment we take that attitude and start working, all through the day you got opportunity of connecting to Swami almost 90 times in a day. If you see 90 patients in the OPD, very fact which makes you very inspired is, at least for me, is that we are part and parcel of one noble cause which is already started by Swami. In addition to that, when you work with that feeling of having got a wonderful opportunity to serve Swami by serving these patients, that sums up.